This
Great.
conference will now be recorded.
And Karthik?
Hello, able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yes, I'm having already 2 years of Ariba experience. Okay, and I'm working in Ariba project also.
Great.
So still, I want to explore. I have some doubts here and there, and want to sort it down. And
Mhm.
see, Ariba is vast, like upstream, downstream, CAG, guided buying. So I want to explore
Correct.
all these models. Okay, and
Correct.
so this is what expectation from this training, and also will you cover guided buying configurations also in this training?
Yeah, I will answer your question and shortly, Karthik. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So once we get onto that, like what I'm going to teach, what is there in that. Okay. So once again, let me, because some people missed about my introduction, let me give my intro. This is Ashok. I have more than 15 years of experience in the SAP domain. Like I worked on different modules like SAP MM, SRM, and predominantly more into Ariba side. Okay, and I am going to train you on the Ariba things. Okay, and the duration of this course is the 40 hours. That's what we were doing, and this covers from the basics. Okay, those who are already have some experience. Keeping in mind that other people who don't have experience on Ariba and other things. Okay, we are going to cover from Ariba basics, and we will see like the procurement cycles and each and everything. Okay, let me start share my screen and let me know once you guys can see my screen. Okay, hope everyone can see my screen. Hoping everyone can see that. Okay. So most of you know what is Ariba and where we are using Ariba, what we can do with Ariba. Okay, but just in interest of the other people, Ariba is kind of a procurement module. Okay, it helps in the business processes, in running the business processes related to the purchasing. Okay, purchasing, and as well as we call it as a P2P process, procure to pay process, and we call it as source to pay process, we call it as the source to contract process. So there are some modules involved, and in this procurement cycle, so if you want to buy a product, okay, so from the sourcing, suppose if you want to buy a product, you need a vendor from whom you can buy the product, right? Okay, and then before you are going to buy the product, you need the product specifications. Okay, so your internal requirements, how the requirement is coming from the different departments, or maybe through your MRP, whatever it is. Okay, your material requirement planning or internal planning, whatever it is. Okay, suppose if you want to buy something, there is a plan or there is a requirement that is coming inside from your company or from your internal users, and once the requirement is there and we need to find from whom we can buy that. Okay, there, the from whom we are buying, that person or that particular entity, we are calling it as vendor or a supplier. After that, how we are going to buy, what kind of nature we are going to buy, we are simply telling them, hey, this is your purchase order, this is the document, so whatever mentioned in this document, you just send those items, or you might be going with a contract. So all these things, terminologies or processes come into picture. Okay, Ariba deals with all these things, how to find a vendor, correct vendor, if you want to buy something. Okay, I always used to give this scenario called buying a laptop. When you want to buy a laptop, so first you will decide what kind of laptop you want to buy, whether you want to buy a touch screen laptop, whether you want to buy 14 inches laptop or 10 inches laptop with extended keyboard or Intel processor, whatever it is, you all come up with your basic specifications. Okay, and after that, what you do is, right, once you decided with the specifications, then you will decide from whom I can buy. I can buy from HP, I can buy from Lenovo. Okay, or I can buy from my other Sony or Samsung, whatever it is. That means you are going to collect the prices of that particular product which you want to buy. So based on the prices or the quality or the what are, there are so many parameters, right? When you are buying the laptop, not only the price. Okay, you might be seeing the reliability of the vendor as well, all these things, and the what kind of license, or what kind of assistance they are giving. All these things you will take into consideration. Then you are going to buy from a particular source or a vendor, right? This is like an individual. Okay, when you extend the same concept to the corporate world or corporate culture, they'll go in a very process way. Okay, in a very defined process, and very very in a stable and systematic process. Okay, anyway, little bit we would be seeing. Okay, so we have something called, all these things I will be explaining in the Ariba portfolio. What are the modules we have? Okay, and what are the different things we have? Okay, so as a courtesy, like when we are learning Ariba, what is Ariba? Okay, I just mentioned Ariba is kind of a procurement tool. Okay, so first of all, everyone knows what do you mean by ERP, enterprise resource planning. If you take any enterprise, right? If you take any enterprise, if you, let us say, for example, you are running some Britannia biscuit company. Okay, in that biscuit company there are people working, and there are sales happening, and there are procurement happening. Okay, and there are some people joining in the company, right? As a users. Okay, all these things. Okay, to run an entity, ERP is required, enterprise resource planning is required. Okay, so what enterprise resource planning will do? What are the resources we have for an enterprise? For an enterprise, we have three important resource. Okay, like man, material, and first primary important, which I forgot, is money. Okay, so how you are managing these three resources? Okay, end of the day, how much money you are spending, end of the day how much money you are gaining, that is required, right? How you can do that? So, and how many people have joined, how many people are working, how many people are working under particular person, or how many people are reporting, what is their salary structure, or what is their reporting structure? Okay, what is their joining date, whether it is a contract or a full-time employee, all these things are there. Okay, the people management we are calling it as. Then the resource is man. The third resource is material. So what kind of materials you are producing? Just I mentioned Red Britannia biscuit factory. So to manufacture the biscuit, you need some of the raw materials. Okay, how you are getting those raw materials? Once you manufacture the material biscuits, right? So Britannia would not manufacture only one kind variety of biscuits. They will make 100 varieties of biscuits, cakes, some extra things, right? So then, how, what kind of products? Okay, how you are storing those products, how you are processing those products, how you are selling those products? Okay, everything will come on that material, how you are managing the material. So these are the three important resources any ERP should tackle. So why we need an ERP is just for the reporting purpose. End of the day, we need an analysis, reporting 100% for sure, to analyze our business, and to optional, and to what we call to um, uh, what we call it is like to operationalize, and we can improve the where we are lacking of, and where we are going good, or where we need some kind of improvement, all these things to optimize our business. Okay, the end of the day, the reporting is required. So on this ERP, we are able to do this optimization reports, and on that we will take the decisions. Okay, that is one thing. And on the day-to-day operations also, we need to see each and everything. Okay, I used to tell always this banking example. So you have a banking app, let us say you are using a credit card. So my credit card team, like what they would, end of the day, every month they are sending one report, kind of a chart, where they are telling me, hey, this month you purchased this much fuel, you spend this much money on the fuel, you spend this much money on your clothes, this you spend this much money on your food or restaurant, whatever it is. Okay, so it will be trying to give how it is giving with my day-to-day transactions. Whenever I go to petrol bunk, I'm using my credit card. Whenever I go to restaurant, I'm using my credit card. Whenever I buying something, I'm using my credit card. And with this artificial intelligence technology, the credit card team, they're trying to generate this report and sending me. That will be giving an insight saying that, hey, how you know indisciplined I am, or how disciplined I am in buying those things. So why my expenses are going up, how my expenses are going down, what is the best way I can use my credit card, all these things will come. Okay, so I'm using the credit card for my day-to-day life transactions, and at the same time, end of the month, I'm getting a report just to see how my transactions are going, and to analyze where I am doing some nonsense transactions or good transactions, or what is the better strategic way I can plan so that I can minimize my expenses and I can increase my benefit. All these things will come into picture. Okay, so ERP tool similarly, day-to-day transactions what are happening in the company, it should able to record. Okay, so you are using that ERP tool to record all these transactions, and end of the day you are trying to see some reports and you are trying to make some transactions, and you will come on decisions, some analytical things, and everything will come into picture. Okay, so this is one thing, that is the ERP. Okay, so now coming to various ERPs, SAP is one kind of ERP tool. Like Oracle, we have different ERP tools like PeopleSoft. Okay, so all the ERPs will have different kind of modules. Okay, I'm just mentioning what kind of modules we have, like human capital management or HR. This is all about the people, like the people joining, okay, onboarding the resources, and their reporting structure, to which cost center they are belong to, their pay slips, everything, their payroll run, everything will be handled by the HCM module, that we are calling it as HR module. When we talk about money, that is the finance module. Okay, so when we talk about the procurement and material management, we are calling it as material management or MM. Okay, similarly we have something called related to sales, we call it as sales and distribution. Okay, and something called related to production, this is called production. If you are managing with quality, we have something called quality. These are different modules. These different modules will support in the processes. Okay, each uh, module will have a certain business process. Suppose if I take HCM, right, it's all everyone knows. Suppose if you are joining a process, first of all, from the internal team, there should be some opening, there should be some requirement. Okay, and according to that, what the people would do, they will collect the profiles and they will conduct the interviews, and they will finalize the candidate, they will release the offer letters. Once the offer letter is released and the candidate will join, and they will take the join onboarding of the candidate, and they will do the HR hierarchy structure, and his employee ID got generated. Okay, everything will be there. This is nothing but your HR model, that is the process. Okay, similarly finance also, suppose if you want to make a payment, if you collect a payment, okay, to which entity you are collecting the payment, or for which you are spending this amount, all these things will come into picture. So these are all different models. Okay, so we are particularly interested about material management because our Ariba is related and falls under this module, material management module. Okay, so in the material management module, what are the things would be there is, sorry. Okay, so in the material management, what we have is, like, we have the procurement. Okay, basically we have the procurement and inventory means storing of the materials, handling the materials. Okay, these are the two main important things we can say. Okay, so procurement means the P2P process. I will explain you what do you mean by procurement. Purchasing of the materials. Once you purchase the materials, you need to inventory, that means store the materials properly. Okay, and whenever people are asking, you will issue the materials, everything will come under the inventory processes. Goods receiving, goods issuing, goods movement. Okay, and other thing is like purchasing. Okay, so these are the two important things. Whereas if you do the sales side, right, sales is nothing but you are selling the materials. Okay, so this is the very important. Okay, so we'll come to here. Okay, now if you want to make the procurement, Ariba is kind of, previously it was like a standalone tool. Standalone means, see, you can have all these modules are integrated. If you take SAP as an example, all these modules are internally integrated. Okay, whereas you can have the modules individually also. You can have a simple finance module, like in the real world you can see something called your tally is individual finance tool. Okay, if you take HR, PeopleSoft is one of the individual modules. Okay, those are very excellent in handling those business processes. Okay, so that's why people are taking those modules. Okay, and even the SAP is supporting. SAP is also giving very vast kind of and very well supported things, but because of few benefits or things and all, some of the customers are going for these standalone modules. Okay, like somebody mentioned, Coupa is one kind of procurement standalone module. Okay, and Ariba is also similar way. okay, which handles the procurement things. Okay, so in the procurement we call it as two different streams, upstream and downstream. Okay, Ariba, in the Ariba we have modules. We are differentiating the modules also in this two way. Okay, upstream modules and downstream modules. Ariba is a cloud product. Okay, so people should know what do you mean by on-premise product and a cloud product. On-premise product means the servers are in our control, and we are managing those servers, the upgradations of servers, and all these things we are doing. Okay, so that we are calling it as on-premise. On-premise means server maintenance will be with us. On cloud means something like you are seeing all these OTS tools, right? Okay, somewhere the server is maintained by somebody else, and they are giving one instance leak, and we are creating for our business purpose the data and all. Okay, and everything is maintained by those people, the upgradations and everything will be taken care by them. So in the current market, lot of these most of the people are using Ariba uh, on cloud solution only. Even frankly speaking, I never worked on the Ariba on premise solution. Okay, whatever I know fluently is the Ariba on cloud solution. Okay, so in the Ariba on cloud solution, okay, we have two kinds of things. One is upstreams and another one is the downstream. So when you coming to the upstream module, we are calling it as the strategic sourcing strategic suite now. Okay, we are calling it a strategic suite. In the upstream there are two basic things. One is the supplier management, you can see supplier management, and another one is strategic sourcing in the upstream side. Okay, I just marked it as upstream. Okay, in the supplier management, we are getting two varieties. One is SAP Ariba Supplier Lifecycle and Performance. We are calling it as SLP module. And another one is supplier risk management. Okay, I will be explaining you slowly what is these things. Okay, and Ariba strategic sourcing. In the Ariba strategic sourcing, we are seeing Ariba sourcing, Ariba contract managements, and Ariba spend analysis. Is nothing but reports. Okay, what do you mean by Ariba sourcing, or what do you mean by Ariba contract management? I will be explaining in a little bit in the future slides. You will see it. Okay, and in the downstream we have P2P solution, the day-to-day operational things. Okay, like you are raising your purchase requisitions, you are creating your purchase orders, and you are receiving your invoice, you are receiving your goods, the receiving and the invoicing, and then payment. Okay, so those processes we are calling it as downstream. Okay, and Ariba has introduced something called the supply chain collaboration. This is for the direct procurement. Okay, the people who don't know what do you mean by direct procurement, indirect procurement, I will be explaining you what do you mean by direct procurement and indirect procurement. Okay, those who are pretty new to ERP, then don't get worry. Whatever the keywords I am using, I will try to explain. Maybe you can ask the doubt and you can ask the questions like each and everything. Hey, why we are doing this, why, what is the purpose of doing this and all. Those who are coming from SAP background, they can easily understand. Okay, but anyways, we have the all the mixed people are there. That is why I'm just trying to cover to do the justice for both the people. Okay, okay, something called Ariba supply chain collaboration. In the supply chain collaboration, we have this direct procurement and indirect procurement. So it supports the direct procurement. Okay, so for this we should have strong SAP experience that is required. Okay, without SAP experience, you cannot do the supply chain collaboration cycles. Okay, this is the typical P2P process. Okay, uh, what do you mean by P2P process? Procure to pay process, or the your source to pay process. Okay, so whenever there is a need coming, I just mentioned, right, when you want to buy a laptop, so buying the laptop is your need. So how the need is coming, maybe the laptop is required for your kids online education, or the laptop is required to, I want to learn SAP, I want to install, so that's why I want to buy a laptop. All these things, the need is coming, so the requirement would come, okay, based on the need. Okay, once that is there, then you need to specify what is your requirement. Okay, suppose I want to buy a laptop, what kind of laptop I want to buy. This is here we are defining our specifications, how much quantity you want, all these things. Okay, and then you will try to find the supplier for it, from whom I can buy. Finding the supplier is called, we are calling it a sourcing process. Okay, so to find a supplier, there are some activities that we are doing, some series of activities, and then based on that we are going to buy the particular find the supplier. Okay, I will explain you what is the sourcing process. After that, you might need to create a contract if you want to have long term relationship with that supplier. Okay, if you are buying rice bags, monthly you need one rice bag, then you will make one contract with the nearby department store people. Hey, I want to make a 2 years contract so that every month I can buy rice bag from you. What is the best price that you can offer? The supplier also getting a benefit that he is getting a customer for 2 years. That means he is having a business relationship, continuous thing. Okay, you cannot keep your 24 rice bags at one place, right? You have to uh, again build a new room for it to store that rice, and the storing is also headache for you, right? Okay, so instead of that, what you will do is you buy the rice bag. Okay, for 2 years you will fix some price like 1300, 1400 like that, and you keep call the supplier, and he will send the rice bag. In the corporate world also similar thing will happen. Okay, and then you are making some contract. Okay, once the rice bag is supplied, within how many days you are making the payment. Okay, by after you are making a call, within how many days he needs to supply, or within hours how many hours he needs to supply the rice bag, all these things will come into picture. Or what kind of rice he needs to supply, everything will come into contract. If you want, you can create a contract, or you can create a purchase order. Both are the in the corporate world, or if you're talking about a company side, right? So these are the legal things, legal documents that are required. Okay, for the supplier to supply the goods. Okay, once the one second, sorry. Okay, once the supplier sends the goods against your contract or purchase order, what you will do is you will create your goods receipt in your system, and then the supplier will send the invoice, and against the invoice you will make the payment. This is the P2P cycle. So in our entire, when you are working with Ariba, right, the entire life cycle you will involved in this P2P cycle only, but based on the different documents. Okay, you might be seeing is the sourcing, you might be seeing the contracts, you might be seeing the purchase requisitions, purchase orders, goods receipts, invoicings, and as well as the payments. Okay, I'm not covering the direct procurement and indirect procurement right now. Okay, I will explain during things. This is what how Ariba looks like. Okay, Ariba will come up with two main instances. One is the test instance, and the one is the production instance. Okay, we have all these Ariba sourcing, contract, Ariba supply chain collaboration, or Ariba buying and invoice. All these we can see in our Ariba spend management, and everything will be linked to our Ariba network. This is kind of the hub, we can say. So what are the documents coming to uh, Ariba are going out of Ariba will go through the Ariba network. Okay, and here only the suppliers and buyers will log in. So from buyer side they will log in, and supplier side they will log in. This is kind of the hub. The documents will be shared through the Ariba network. We will be having a separate class on this. Okay, what is Ariba network, what is buyer network, what is supplier network. Okay, we are covering in our curriculum. Okay, and then Ariba sourcing in spend management, Ariba sourcing, Ariba contract management, Ariba P2P, everything we will be seeing. And we are seeing like how these things will be integrated. Okay, theoretically we are seeing we don't have the CAG environment. Okay, so we will be explaining you how the CAG looks like and what kind of integrations that we are doing. All these things we are explaining you, but I cannot give you hands-on to a thing, but I will try to explain on my project. Okay, how the CAG looks like and everything. Okay, but you may not be getting the CAG portal to configure the CAG thing and all. Okay, that is the thing that I need to mention. Not only here, anywhere you won't get the CAG integrated environment to practice unless you are working on some project. Okay, so let me be clear on this point and set your expectations accordingly. Okay, so now coming to the sourcing process, I just explained, right? Sourcing is finding the vendor. Okay, so in the sourcing process we will be seeing what do you mean by sourcing project, sourcing request, how to create the templates. Okay, in the upstream it's almost run by the deal with the templates, or how to create the templates. In the template, what are the different things are there. So being Ariba consultant, what you are configuring the templates. Okay, and then we are seeing something called sourcing event. What kind of sourcing events are there, what is the purpose of sourcing event, how to run a sourcing event cycle. Okay, and then how to monitor the sourcing event, and how do you do the awarding. Awarding means finalizing the supplier. After awarding, what is the next steps, whether you are sending this awarding to integrated environment or you are creating a contract. Okay, all these things we are seeing in the Ariba sourcing. Okay, and after that we have something called Ariba contracts. So we will seeing that we are going to see in the system like how to configure the contract templates, what is the contract life cycle, complete life cycle. Okay, what do you mean by digital signatures? Okay, all these things we are seeing in the Ariba contracts. Okay, and we have something called Ariba SLP. Here also we are seeing the supplier request. Ariba's supplier lifecycle performance related to supplier management. Okay, the supplier data management, what kind of data we are collecting from the supplier, how that is being collected. Once you collect the data, okay, what you are going to do with the data, how you are sending back the data to your MDG system. Okay. Here again, MDG environment, we don't have MDG environment, but I will show you the integration points where we can do this integration and all this stuff. Okay, and we will see the complete cycle from supplier request to the supplier qualifications. Okay, and supplier segmentation, all these things. And Ariba supplier risk we will be seeing theoretically. It's again most of the people are not implementing Ariba supplier risk, but it's good advantage for us if you know what do you mean by supplier risk. Okay, so how you are mitigating this is where the risk is coming, how you identify the risk. Okay, how frequently you are conducting supplier risk analysis, all these things we are going to see in the Ariba supplier risk. Okay, and spend analysis is nothing but enriching of reports. It's something like your SAP BA business intelligence. Okay, but most of the products they are not using the Ariba spend management. We are using the Ariba inbuilt prepackaged reports. I will be explaining you what do you mean by prepackaged reports, how to run the prepackaged reports. Okay, and after that we have the downstream. In the downstream we have P2P. So we will see what is purchase requisitions, purchase orders, the cycle of PR creations, purchase order generations. Okay, and some important like what are the different catalogs we have. Okay, what do you mean by catalog subscriptions? Okay, how to configure spot buy. Okay, guided buying portal, we don't have guided buying portal, but we are going to have one video based sessions. Okay, what are the things that we are going to see in the guided buying, what is the benefit of guided buying, what extra things that we can do in the guided buying, that we will be seeing. Receiving and invoicing, what are the things we need to configure for receiving, what are the things we need to configure for invoicing, that we are going to see in the P2P side. Okay, this is just the framework how the Ariba is there. So if you see here, this is the upstream. In the sourcing, what are the things we are going to create. Once the award is done, we are creating the contract. From the contract you are going to create your purchase orders, and then you can see your regular P2P cycle. Okay, so this is just the thing. Okay, and we will be seeing the mass data and transactional data, and in the integration architecture, how the mass data is being flow from to your SAP to Ariba, and how the transactional data is flowing from the Ariba to SAP. It's again the integrated thing. We can see like how these documents are flowing. Okay, whether it is a idoc medium, or it's a CXML medium like web service medium. Okay, or file channel, what kind of things that are going. If something fails, where you can check. Okay, or if some kind of errors you are getting, how to resolve those kind of errors, those things we are going to see. Okay, in the uh, transactional or integration thing. Okay, and we will be seeing the Ariba supply chain collaboration processes. Okay, how these processes are defined, how to run these processes. Okay, what is the capabilities of Ariba supply chain collaboration. This is one of the very important module that everyone, most of the companies are using right now. I will give the basic knowledge on the supply chain collaboration. If somebody is interested, then I might plan take some, it will take some 10 to 15 classes of on the each complete collaborations. Okay, then it's going to be a separate class. Okay, those who are interested to learn the supply chain collaboration. Okay, and we will be seeing the architecture with CIG, in the how the CIG will be connected to your SAP. Okay, from Ariba side, what are the things you need to see, how the data is flowing, those things we are seeing in the CIG. We will be having some 2 to 3 classes on integration. Okay, how these integrations are being run. Okay, what is required. Okay, all these things we are trying to see in the integration side. Okay, okay, this is all about your course, the curriculum that I'm going to cover as per this PPT. Okay, I will try to share this PPT, or you can, you might ask You can ask Subbu to share this PPT as well. Okay. Now I'm just opening the gates for any doubts. Yeah. People who are pretty new to Ariba, see, I cannot say the job market is over good or super good. It all depends upon luck. But currently SAP market, the hiring is happening. Okay, it's all depends upon you, the way you are, digesting the subject and preparing the subject and improving the areas where you need to concentrate more. So that is how you can tackle it. Okay, so you need to invest your time. Those who are pretty new to Ariba and they want to get a job on Ariba, definitely will get it. Okay, and my training will make you a minimum 3 years, 3+ years of experience. I can ensure you that you will get a 3+ years experience candidate, whatever is getting that knowledge, right? That knowledge I can give you.
And sir, will you be providing any tasks also to do in the lab?
Yes, I'll give some kind of assignments and I will tell you, hey, you do this thing and that thing, you practice this thing and that thing, but I won't monitor those things. Okay. If you are getting any doubts, you can raise it in the next class or you can ask me the doubt so that we can discuss the doubt.
No. Yeah, because I
Can we learn Ariba without any background of SAP?
See, that is what I'm telling, right? Without having background of SAP, still you can learn it. But some of the companies are expecting minimum experience also, SAP experience. Okay. I'm honestly
Okay.
speaking because you are investing your time and I should make the things more clear for you guys. Okay.
Okay.
You
Is
can
it a
learn, but
completely functional or techno-functional
functional.
Ariba?
It's more about functional. But technical, we don't have something called technical. Okay.
Okay. So
Like in
is there
SAP,
any
we
coding
have
part in this one Ariba?
no nothing, no coding part.
Is it required or
Not
additionally
required. That is
enhancements
not
or
at all.
anything?
Not required at all.
So
All
is it a
Ariba
completely
enhanced.
cloud-based?
Yes.
So what is
Complete.
the
You need to
backend
write
for
any
this one?
script also. It's
Sorry?
it's again. It's previously done on Java. Okay, I think it's
Mm-hmm.
running on Java only. We don't have script or something. Okay, we need not to worry about the coding thing. If you want any enhancement on the screen or something, that
Mm-hmm.
all everything will be taken by care by SAP Ariba itself. You need to raise a case or enhancement request to them. Okay,
Okay.
depending upon the reusability and feasibility, they will take up or they may not take up. Okay, if that
Okay.
enhancement is possible and they will do it for your company. Okay.
Okay. What is the backend system for this one then? If it is a cloud, right? This is a cloud, right? Completely Ariba.
Yes, Ariba is a cloud itself. Okay, we are not. Ariba has their own architecture. They have their own thing. Okay,
Correct. But what is the backend system for this one?
backend in the sense I'm not exactly getting you.
Now, where you are going, if
Maybe.
we are in procurement, if we are going to raise a purchase order or invoicing, so how it is
Yeah.
going to store the data?
See, data will be stored in the cloud tables. Everything is in the cloud itself.
So nowhere related to the SAP.
SAP, if you are making an integration, right? That is what I'm telling. If you are making a SAP and Ariba integration thing, then there is data interchange between these two. Okay, the data might be
Okay.
coming from SAP, and then whatever the data you are sending to SAP, that will
Yeah,
be stored
correct,
in
right.
SAP. Yeah.
So it's a one of the part of the SAP, right? So I may need some data from SAP or some other
That is
module.
what.
So
That
I
is.
want to
Yes.
going to create
Yeah.
some other application or some other orders in through Ariba. So how I am going to, will it be there or not? Are you going to
Yeah.
cover
Same.
that kind of a part or
Yes.
not?
Exactly. We are going to cover in the integration part. Okay.
Mm,
So we are teaching our training will go with the SAP base. The backend we are taking it as SAP, and we will be
mm,
explaining you how the purchase orders will be transmitted from Ariba to SAP, and master data is coming from SAP to Ariba, how it is flowing. All these things we will be showing in the integration part. So I have shown you in the PPT, right? The transactional, how the transactional data and the master data is flowing. Okay, as part of our training, but we don't have the integrated system here. Okay, I will be showing those them as theoretically how the data would be coming, what kind of jobs you need to run on the SAP side to push the data. Okay, all these things I am going to explain you theoretically, but I don't have the SAP backend system integrated environment here for our training purpose.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Yeah. If
Thank
you
you,
are
sir.
really interested, then you need to go for these CAG classes. Okay, there is separate things for the CAG. So Subbu is conducting on the CAG thing. Okay,
Are
so
you
which
going
is
to,
especially for this
no, no, are you conducting those
course.
classes also, or someone is going to take care?
No, someone CAG is taken care by somebody else. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm teaching in my curriculum. I'm teaching you the CAG basics. Okay, how the
Okay.
CAG project looks like, what you are creating, why you are creating, all these things. If you want
Mm.
to see the integrated, right? If you want to practice
Yeah.
on the integrated environment, okay,
Mm.
like you will be getting authorization, like you will be getting access to SAP and as well as Ariba. It's an integrated, so you can run a transaction in SAP and then you can push that to Ariba and you can see that. Like that, you can see and you can learn. But whereas in
Mm.
my sessions, right? Okay, it's more focusing on the upstream and downstream part. Okay,
Okay.
and the
Okay.
I am giving the CAG basics and I will be explaining you what the CAG you will do, what kind of documents you can create and do all these things. Okay, but practical on hands, right? I cannot show you that. That is what the limitation
Okay.
I have. For that, you need to go for the CAG class. So you can talk to Subbu if you are already have Ariba experience. If you want to learn CAG, then you can talk to Subbu. Subbu will arrange CAG classes for you.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So if I want to become a complete Ariba consultant, I need to attend that one also, right? CAG class.
Exactly. See, it all depends. See, first you have to learn the basics and then know the end-to-end scenarios. And after that, you then step ahead, go with the CAG. Okay, complete the CAG. You can learn complete CAG. And
Okay.
for that, again, the SAP basic knowledge, the SAP kind of SAP knowledge is required for that. Okay. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
have SAP knowledge, even though if you learn CAG also, you get some trouble. You need to be
Okay.
not professional knowledge is not required. At least you should know how to create some of the transactions like PRPO contracts in the SAP system.
Being a technical consultant, can we learn Ariba? I mean, SAP technical.
Technical in the sense you are from ABAP background.
Yep.
Yeah, you can learn it, right? So obviously it is very quite helpful for you, and it helps you. But it's Ariba is more into the functional side. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And if you want technical, the technical involvement will come when you are working on the CS integration part.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
So which
Ariba
is
side, we are not having any technical side. More things comes on the
okay.
SAP technical part only.
Oh, okay. So at the time of
Yeah.
CAG only.
Yes, at the time of CAG, or if you want to do any enhancements, suppose a PO
Mm.
is going from Ariba to SAP. If you want to do some enhancement or some logic, if you want, you can write there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Fine. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, Srinivas. Others, anyone has any doubts?
One more question, Ashok. Is it mandatory to gain CAG knowledge?
It's not mandatory. See, the people are expecting, right? So if you want to get the job, we don't know like from where the requirement is coming. The survival chances, like the probability of getting a job chances, end of the day, why you are learning Ariba is like to get a job or looking for a better placement or position, right? Okay. So if you want to make that one, first you have to learn the Ariba upstream and downstream, and then you have to improve your knowledge in CH because we don't know what is the requirement, whether it is coming for CAG or whether it is coming from only upstream or downstream. So you should be ready when you are preparing with some tool, right? You should be ready with on all the areas. Even at least if you have some knowledge also on the CAG, that will be good enough. So my suggestion is at least you should be knowledgeable on CAG. So that I am taking care to give that knowledge.
You're taking care of that. Okay, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all I had, Ashok.
Yep.
Thank you.
No problem.
Do we get any like a soft copies to work ourselves?
Yes,
Like
I'm giving you the complete recorded videos. Okay. I will share the recorded videos along with the PDF documentations where you can go through. I will be giving a lot more content. It all depends upon you. The way you want to go through the books and everything, you can learn more.
Thank you.
Okay. We will provide